Chelsea from LBC Party of 5, and real quick I just wanted to get on. I know it's been a minute since we posted anything, and since I did have a quick minute, the grandparents are here, Chris's parents are here in the house helping us out. They have been here for a few weeks now. We were very appreciative of them. They just want to walk around the neighborhood in her wagon, so I figured let me take the time to sit down and do a little quick video for you guys. Again, we want to thank you so much for all the love and support that you've been showing us online through the GoFundMe, just through checking up on us, the messages, being able to meet new people and just share our stories and everything. It's been amazing. It's been overwhelmingly amazing. I did want to let you guys rest assured this is not going to turn into, we don't want the content of the direction of our channel to just be solely about Carter's diagnosis, although we will be giving monthly updates. We'll get into that in the next video, but we do get what's called roadmaps, and it basically covers the whole month. So as we go through each month, we will give you an update to hopefully be able to educate and help someone else if they do find themselves in the same position, having to care for someone with this type of treatment, and what to expect and everything. We just thought it would be helpful because there was one family in particular who is also a beautiful lesbian couple with a cute little baby girl. They are actually going through the same thing. Allie and Tashina, I believe it's called the Mombians. I'll link it down below. I'm pretty sure the title is called the Mombians. But Allie and Tashina, they have been such a help for us since the time that we were in the hospital. We were direct messaging and we just clicked. So we really do appreciate you for, you sharing your story. They just celebrated no more chemo. Tashina, you are kicking cancer's butt. So proud of you, so happy for you, and we know it's just going to be up from here for both of us. So we are on this journey with you, and we thank you for being so available to us to help us with our questions and just be there as a ear to listen to, because you need that. Also, before this started and just turned our whole world around, we did do a post that we were going to do an updated Q&A. You guys sent in some great questions, and before that is one of the things that we want to pick back up, trying to get back in the swing of our regular content as well. So if you do have any questions, we never posted it specifically in a YouTube video, so if you guys do have any questions for us, feel free to leave it in the comment box down below. It can be anything LGBT related, Carter related, basically anything. We're pretty much an open book, as you already know. Just keep it respectful. So yeah, just leave it down below, or send us an email or direct message us on any of our social media pages. We'll leave it also down below. For an upcoming video, we'll be able to answer that for you. So let's get right into the topic of this video. This is how we found out that Carter was diagnosed with leukemia. Now I'm going to try to make this as short as possible. The recap, we did do a little story in the GoFundMe page, but in case you did not get a chance to look at it, this is the explanation as well, because that is one of the most commonly asked questions when it comes to Carter nowadays, is how did we know? So the first thing that we did notice, she's been battling, before this happened, she was battling what seemed like a regular cold. Just had a slight cough, a little bit of runny nose, but nothing ever consistent for like about 3 weeks, like we like to say. She did occasionally have a fever, but when you would give her a dose of the Tylenol, Motrin, whatever you use to reduce the fever, give her one dose of that and she's fine. She just bounces right back. But she couldn't kick it for about 3 weeks. Then she started developing what I would describe, it looks like when you get a zipper caught in, like your skin's caught in the zipper, and it like makes your blood bubble up to the surface, but it doesn't actually come out. It just creates like a little tiny little blood pockets, or they look like little bruises. That's what started to happen on her neck. So of course that's what we thought it was. We thought, oh, one of us must have just caught her skin in the zipper. But then it started to spread, and that's what caused a little bit more concern for Chris. And thankfully Chris is that, being that he's a first-time parent, I'm a third time obviously, so I'm like, oh, it's nothing, it's nothing. But thankfully he did have one of those OCD moments and was like, no, I need to take it to the doctor. At that visit, it was just a regular sick visit. They didn't really show any concern. I was at work when this happened. They didn't really show any concern as to her, having the fever on and off, or just being sick, but the spots is what concerned them. Now these spots did start to spread through her chest, inside of her ear, inside of the white part of her eyes. I don't believe there was none inside of her mouth, but you could tell that it was spreading and it was, you know, going upwardly. So that is what the doctors just wanted to make sure. They wanted to rule, you know, certain things out, but they never told us what they were trying to rule out. So they did run some blood work, and at that point, Chris left. They stopped by my job to say hi to me and everything, and he told me, yeah, they took blood work and they're just going to call you with the results. I thought that was a little weird because I've never gone to a doctor's office to find out what's wrong with my child and leave without knowing what it is, you know? So that seemed a little odd to me. And shortly after that, maybe a half hour after the visit was done, like Carter didn't even get settled at home by the time that I got the phone call from her primary care physician at the time saying, you need to go to the specialist in Westchester. I didn't know. I don't know what is going on still at this point. I keep asking her what was found. I know that she had blood work done. What was found? She could not answer my question, and she just kept repeating herself. You just need to make it there. I already called the main doctor that's over there. They're expecting you to be there. You need to go. Now, mind you, this location, Westchester Medical Center, if you're not within this area, the people that are here know that when you're going to Westchester, it means it's something serious. So I'm already, like, my mind is going. I'm trying to hold myself together, to hold tears back, because I need to drive at least from my job back to my house so Chris can take the wheel and I can just try to, you know, pick up myself, because I don't like Carter seeing me upset either at the same time. So it's an hour. It was an hour and a half ride from my house to the hospital, and I didn't know what to think. I wanted to Google it, which don't ever do that, guys. Wanted to Google it, and Chris had already done that and just kept telling me, don't do it to yourself. So he kind of had a heads up of what it could be, like worst case scenario, and the fact that we again had to be rushed to Westchester Children's Hospital, actually, Westchester Children's Hospital. He kind of knew what it was, but didn't want to say it out loud because he didn't want to be wrong, and it would make it more real. So when we got to the hospital, it was a quick, and because like I said, they did know that we were on our way. We go to the emergency room and they run the same blood tests, and at this time I was posting pictures, but she was trying to bounce back, but you could tell like there was something wrong. She was just so weak and she just seemed so feeble, and that's not like her at all. So they came back in the room, and at this point I didn't even have her in my arms because she wanted to switch and sit with Daddy. And it was a whole group of doctors that came into the room. So automatically I'm like, shit, what are they about to tell me? See, I'm not going to make this an emotional video, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so there was a group of doctors that came in at this point. It was at least 6 people that was inside this tiny emergency room, and they broke it down saying that her levels were I forgot what the actual numbers were, but it was, if we came there a couple days later, it wouldn't have done anything. She would have woken up, or we would have tried to wake her up, and she just wouldn't wake up. That's what would have happened if it wasn't caught when it was. So that was one thing that they did try to ease us with, that, you know, we caught it so early. It hasn't been in her system, just based on the way that they were seeing how the cells were forming. I don't know the terminology, and I don't know what they specifically do to figure that out, but basically what they told us was, based on the way that the cells were forming and they haven't had too much time to mutate, they were saying that she only had this in her system, the bad blood was only in her system for maybe a week. And if it would have gone any further, it would have caused a lot more damage. But even so, we did have to stay in the hospital. She underwent, well, you saw the video, she underwent quite a few surgical procedures during our 10-day stay at the hospital. But she was a trooper. She came out like a champion. She still wanted to, you know, get back to her regular temperament, wanted to play and be, you know, bouncing around and everything. She was just doing it and then falling out. But that is the way that we found out that she did have acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Sorry, I tried to make it quick. I hope that wasn't too fast and that it made sense. But that is how we found out. We are so thankful for the people that we did have. Her old primary care, she's no longer with her old primary care physician, because now she has to only see the people in her cancer treatment team. So Westchester is now our home base for Carter. But her old primary care, she still calls us. She actually called us the last time that we were in the hospital for her last surgical procedure for this month, and she was so sad for her. This is like the first time that this has happened to her in a long time, where she lost a patient because of this. So she loves her. Everybody loves Carter, like, let's be real. So she was, you know, sad to see her go, but she still checks in on her. She'll call us periodically, and I just think that it's beautiful. We are surrounded by so much love and support. We cannot thank you guys enough. But one of the things that I did want to mention, actually, Naisha and Marisol, we're still good friends with them, that we met off of YouTube. Love you guys. But they actually came, they were there the second, was it the second day? It was either, no, it was the second day that we were in the hospital. They came to show their support and give us some love and try to, you know, encourage us as much as they could. And there was something that we were discussing this and how crazy it was, because the common symptoms of this is like regular symptoms, and not to scare anybody, because I don't think this would have changed our decision to conceive Carter either, but it's still something that I wish I would have known. There was a study going around, and it's actually recent. I'll try to link it, remember to link it down below as well. But if you are going through the IVF process, and because of the medications that we have to take, you are at a 67% higher risk of having a child with childhood leukemia, which is insane to me. I wish that was something that was told to me. Like I said, I don't think it would have changed our decision to conceive her, but it would have been something that I at least would have read up on, just so I could find out the signs. So if something were to happen, I would be able to be like, okay, well, let's do this to rule this out. You know what I mean? But we went to 2 different IVF facilities, and not one of them told us the heightened risks of that, which I thought was insane. But again, not saying that to scare anyone or deter you from doing that, but just ask about it with your doctor and look into it, because it still does make up, there's a large mass of children that actually are diagnosed with this. I believe in the article it said 1.6 million. So there is a lot. It's very sad, but it is the most curable though. So I will say that, you know, we were grateful to find out that this was the type of leukemia. If she had to have any, this is the one to have, because it's got the highest success rate. But out of the 1.6 million, when you think about it, even at the 60% higher risk, it only makes up, the children conceived through IVF only makes up 0.5 out of those 1.6 million. So it's really, when you think of it on the grander scheme, it's really not, it's still like 1 in 1,000 chance, you know? So the risk is still there, but it's minute. But again, we just wish that we would have known that, just so we would have had the heads up, you know? So definitely ask that to your doctor, you know, to discuss that, and be aware of it. That's what we're putting it out there for, not to scare you, just be aware of it. But yeah, that's all that we wanted to bring you for now, I guess. If you have any other questions, again, leave them down below. We will be doing an updated Q&A. We will be getting back to our regular content, and also still giving you the updates with Carter, because we know you guys are asking and you guys care. Genuinely care. We again can't thank you enough. But thank you so much for continuing to be on this journey with us. We love you. You are our family. You are our village. That's what we keep saying. You are our village. And we will see you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye. I got it, you got it, we got the magic.